Hello everyone, welcome back to Real Literature and Random Videos. This is Neha Sultana. In today's video, in today's video, we are going to delve into the fascinating life of one of literature's most enigmatic figures, Franz Kafka. But we are not just exploring his works and influence. Oh no, we are diving deep into the heart of his passionate and tumultuous love affair with Melena Yasenka. So, stay tuned as we uncover the intimate details of their relationship, their heartfelt correspondence, and how Melena became both muse and confidant to Kafka. Trust me, you won't want to miss this captivating journey into the personal life of a military giant. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below with your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to stay updated with all my latest contents. Let's get started. I'll just give a brief biography of Franz Kafka. So, here, Franz Kafka was a German speaking Bohemian writer born on July 3rd, 1883, in Prague, which was then part of the Austro Hungarian Empire and is now in the Czech Republic. So he became from a middle class Jewish family and spoke German as his primary language. Kafka studied law at the German University in Prague and worked as a legal clerk for most of his life. Despite his daytime job, Kafka wrote politically, producing a significant body of work that explored themes of alienation, existential anxiety, and absurdity. And his best-known works include the Metamorphosis, a novella in which a man wakes up to find himself transformed into a giant insect, and The Trial, a novel about a man prosecuted by a remote and inscrutable authority. And Kafka's writing style is characterized by its surreal and nightmarish qualities, often depicting characters grappling with bizarre and oppressive social bureaucratic systems. Although Kafka published only a few short stories and fragments during his lifetime, and he left behind a wealth of unpublished manuscripts, which were later edited and published posthumously by his friend Max Brod. Franz Kafka's work had a profound influence on 20th century literature, and the term Kafkaesque has come to describe situations that evoke his distinctive blend of surrealism and existential anxiety. Kafka died on June 3rd and 1924 at the age of 40 from tuberculosis, that is also popular as TB, leaving a lasting legacy as one of the most important writers of the modern era. And now we will discuss his literary significance. So Franz Kafka holds immense literary significance primarily for his profound exploration of existential themes and the human condition. His works are celebrated for their surreal, nightmarish atmospheres and their portrayal of individuals grappling with oppressive and bureaucratic systems beyond their control. Kafka's writing style, characterized by its precision and haunting ambiguity, has deeply influenced numerous writers and thinkers across the world. So here is a key elements of Kafka's literary significance, and that include exploration of existential anxiety. As I said earlier, here Kafka's works delve into themes of alienation, absurdity, and existential angst. He portrays characters caught in absurd situations, often facing inexplicable trials and existential dilemmas. Innovative narrative techniques. Okay, so this is the second point. And Kafka poignant narrative techniques that blend realism with surrealism, and his use of unreliable narrators, fragmented narratives, and dream-like sequences creates a disorienting yet compelling reading experience. Influence on and the third key point is influence on modern literature. Kafka's influence extends across genres and cultures. Writers such as Albert Camus, George Louis Borges, and Gabriel Garcia Marquez have acknowledged Kafka's impact on their own works, and his themes and style continue to resonate in contemporary literature. And the fourth one is cultural and a philosophical impact. The term Kafkaesque has entered common usage to describe situations marked by bizarre, illogical, and nightmarish qualities, and reflecting Kafka's enduring cultural impact. So here the last one is posthumous recognition. So here, despite publishing only a few works during his lifetime, Kafka left behind a significant body of unpublished manuscripts. And his friend Max Brod disregarded Kafka's wishes to burn these manuscripts after his death and instead published them, and contributing to Kafka's posthumous fame and scholarly interest. So, in summary, Franz Kafka's literary significance lies in his exploration of universal human dilemmas, his innovative narrative techniques, and his enduring influence on literature and culture worldwide. He remains a towering figure in 20th century literature, and revered for his ability to capture the complexities of the human psyche and the absurdities of modern existence. And here is Franz Kafka's personal life was marked by several significant aspects, including his family background and health issues. So let us discuss family background first. So here Kafka was born into a middle class Jewish family in Prague, then part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire on July 3rd, 1883. His father Hermann Kafka was a successful businessman who ran a shop specializing in fancy goods, and Kafka's mother, that is Julie Nee Louis, came from a prosperous brewery owning family, and he had five siblings, though two died in infancy. His relationship with his father was strained, characterized by Kafka's feelings of inadequacy and a sense of oppression. And now we will discuss his health issues. So here Kafka's health was fragile throughout his life, and he suffered from various ailments, including recurrent headaches, insomnia, and respiratory problems. So in his youth he had bouts of depression and anxiety which would plague him intermittently throughout his life. And later in life, Kafka was diagnosed with tuberculosis, a disease that eventually led to his death at the age of 14, 1924. And now we have his personal relationships. Okay, so this is so I personally think that he is a very good lover. He wrote very good things about her lover. And okay, so let's start with so here Kafka was known for his introverted and introspective nature. So So he's an introvert person. Kafka was a very introvert person and introspective nature. So he had an introspective nature. He had a close relationship with his sisters, especially Otla, with whom he shared a deep bond. His romantic life was marked by complexities and unfulfilled relationships. He was engaged several times, but he never married. One of Kafka's most significant personal relationships was with Felice Buer, to whom he was twice engaged but never married due to various personal and practical obstacles. Okay, and now we have work and legacy. Work and legal career. So Kafka studied law at the German University in Prague and worked as an insurance officer, a job he found tedious and spiritually draining. And despite his day job, Kafka dedicated himself to writing, producing novels, short stories, and diaries that explored themes of alienation and bureaucracy and existential anxiety. And Franz Kafka's personal life, with his familial tensions like health struggles and complicated relationships, deeply influenced his literary work. His introspective nature and battles with illness and existential crisis are reflected in the themes and characters of his writings, making his work profoundly personal and universally resonant. And here I think the wait is over. So Milena Yesenka was a significant figure in Franz Kafka's life, known for her intellectual pursuits, her work as a journalist, and her deep connection with Kafka through their correspondence. Here is an I'll give you an introduction on Milena Yesenka. So Milena Yesenka was born on August 10, 1896 in Prague, then part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, now Czech Republic. So she was a Czech journalist, writer, and translator, known for the contributions to the avant-garde literary scenes in Prague during the early 20th century. And Yesenka was multilingual and had a keen interest in literature, philosophy, and social issues, which drew her to Kafka's circle. And now we will discuss how the relationship was developed. The relationship development. Okay, Kafka and Yesenka first met in 1920 through Max Brod, Kafka's close friend and literary executor. So they quickly developed a deep intellectual and emotional bond despite Kafka's reserved nature and Yesenka's vibrant personality. Their relationship was primarily conducted through letters, as they rarely met in person due to Kafka's declining health and his living in different cities. Despite their deep connection, their relationship remained platonic, and Kafka saw in Milena a kindred spirit who understood his anxieties and literary ambitions. And now we will discuss the letters in brief. The correspondence between Kafka and Milena is considered some of the most poignant and revealing in literary history. Kafka wrote passionate and introspective letters to Milena and discussing his fears, struggles with writing, and his views on life and literature. And Milena, in turn, provided Kafka with emotional support and intellectual stimulation, translating some of his works into Czech and championing his writing within her circles. And now we have impact on Kafka's work. Okay, Milena Yesenka had a profound impact on Kafka's writing and personal life during their brief but intense relationship. She inspired Kafka's literary imagination and provided him with a sympathetic ear during his bouts of illness and existential crisis. Their correspondence filled with Kafka's introspective musings and Milena's supportive responses sheds a light on Kafka's inner world and the themes that dominated his later works. In conclusion, Milena Yasenka played a crucial role in Franz Kafka's life, offering him intellectual companionship and emotional support during tumultuous period. Their relationship, immortalized through their letters, underscores Kafka's deep need for understanding and connection amidst his existential struggles. The correspondence between Franz Kafka and Milena Yasenka is not just a collection of letters, but a profound exchange that offers insights into both their personal lives and their intellectual worlds. Right, and okay, now we will discuss intimacy and emotional depth. Okay, so here Kafka and Milena's letters reveal a deep emotional intimacy despite the physical distance between them. They shared their innermost thoughts, fears, and vulnerabilities with each other. And Kafka, known for his introspective writing style, opened up to Milena about his struggles with writings, his feelings of alienation, and his anxieties about his health and relationships. Milena, in turn, provided Kafka with emotional, as I said earlier, that Kafka with, that she provided Kafka with emotional support and encouragement, expressing understanding and admiration for his literary endeavors. And now we will discuss literary and intellectual exchange. The correspondence between Kafka and Milena reflects their shared passion for literature and intellectual pursuits. They discussed literary works, philosophical ideas, and social issues of their time, reflecting on the cultural and political climate in Europe during the early 20th century. Milena, who was a journalist and translator, engaged deeply with Kafka's writing, translating some of his works to Czech and discussing their literary merits and implications. Language and communication was language played a crucial role in their relationship, as Kafka wrote primarily in German, and while Milena primarily communicated in Czech. Despite this linguistic barrier, they managed to communicate effectively and passionately, showcasing the power of their intellectual connection and shared understanding. Here, reflection of Kafka's themes. So Kafka's letters to Milena often reflect themes that dominate his literary works, such as alienation, bureaucratic absurdity, and the search for meaning in an indifferent world. So Milena served as both a muse and confidant in influencing Kafka's thinking and providing him with a sounding board for his literary ideas and existential concerns. And now we have cultural and historical context. Here, their correspondence also provides a snapshot of the cultural and historical context of Central Europe during their time. They discussed contemporary events, social movements, and the changing landscape of European society post World War first, and legacy and interpretation. So the letters exchanged between Kafka and Milena have been studied and analyzed by scholars and literary enthusiasts for their literary merit and historical significance. So they offer a glimpse into Kafka's personal life and relationships, shedding light on the man behind the enigmatic literary persona. In essence, the correspondence between Franz Kafka and Milena Yasenka is a testament to the power of letters as a medium of profound communication and intellectual exchange. It enriches our understanding of Kafka's literary works and his complex personality, while also highlighting Milena's role as a supportive and intellectually stimulating companion in Kafka's life. So here, the relationship between Franz Kafka and Milena Yasenka came to an end under poignant circumstances marked by external pressures and personal challenges. Circumstances leading to the end. Now we will discuss this. Okay. The primary reason for the end of their relationship was Kafka's declining health and Milena's complicated personal life. Kafka's tuberculosis worsened and affecting his ability to maintain regular correspondence and leading to periods of silence between them. And so I think this point is very important one. If you want to note down, please note down. I'll say it again. Okay. So Kafka's tuberculosis worsened, affecting his ability to maintain regular correspondence and leading to periods of silence between them. See, how can a relationship last long if there is no communication, right? And Milena, meanwhile, faced challenges in her own life, including a tumultuous marriage and custody battles over her children. And Kafka's reserved nature and Milena's increasingly demanding personal circumstances strained their ability to maintain the emotional and intellectual connection they once shared. Okay, and now we will discuss the aftermath. So despite the end of their correspondence and their personal relationship, Kafka and Milena maintained a deep respect and admiration for each other, and Kafka continued to write, albeit with declining health, producing some of his most famous works during this period, including the Castle and A Hunger Artist. And Milena pursued her career as a journalist and a translator, remaining active in Prague's intellectual circles. And Kafka's death in 1924 marked a definitive end to any hope of reconciliation, of further communication between them. And Milena went on to champion Kafka's work and translating more of his writing into Czech and ensuring his legacy would endure beyond his lifetime. So, in conclusion, while external circumstances and health issues led to the end of their personal relationship, the correspondence between Franz Kafka and Milena Yasenka remains a testament to their deep emotional and intellectual connection. Their brief but intense relationship left an indelible mark on both their lives and contributed to the understanding and appreciation of Kafka's literary legacy. After Franz Kafka's death in 1924, Milena Yasenka continued to lead a dynamic and influential life marked by her own achievements and contributions to journalism, literature, and translation. So now we will discuss Milena's life after Kafka. So, journalism and writing. So Milena continued her career as a journalist, contributing to various publications in Prague. She wrote on a wide range of topics, including literature, culture, and social issues. Now we will discuss translation work of Milena Yasenka. So Milena became known for her translations of literary works from German to Czech. She translated several of Kafka's writings, helping to introduce his work to a broader Czech-speaking audience. And now, activism and political engagement. So Milena was actively involved in political and social causes, advocating for women's rights, pacifism, and social justice. She participated in fascist activities during the rise of Nazism in Europe, and and now, literary contributions. Beyond her translations, Milena wrote essays and short stories that reflected their, intellectual curiosity and commitment to progressive ideals. Okay. So now we have continued influence. So, champion of Kafka's legacy, Milena played a crucial role in preserving and promoting Kafka's literary legacy. Her translations and essay helped to ensure that Kafka's work were appreciated not only in German-speaking countries but also in, you know, in also Czechoslovakia and beyond. So here is another one is there. Another point is there, that is literary circles. So Milena remained an influential figure in Prague's literary and intellectual circles, where she engaged with prominent writers, thinkers, and artists of her time. Okay, now we will discuss achievements. Translation of Kafka. So here, so this is achievement of Milena Yasenka. So in which the first point is translation of Kafka. So Milena's translations of Kafka's work into Czech are considered authoritative and help to establish Kafka as a seminal figure in Czech literature. Okay. And the second point is journalistic contributions. Her journalistic work contributed significantly to the cultural and intellectual landscape of Prague during the interwar period. Okay, and advocacy and activism. Milena's commitment to political and social causes alongside her literary contributions underscored her role as a progressive thinker and activist. In conclusion, Milena Yasenka's life after Franz Kafka's death was marked by her own intellectual and literary achievements, as well as her continued advocacy for social justice and human rights. Her contributions to Kafka's legacy and Czech literature endure as a testament to her enduring influence and commitment to cultural exchange and progressive ideals. And now, finally, the conclusion is here. So here, Milena Yasenka's life was one of the intellectual vigor, literary accomplishment, and unwavering commitment to social justice. Her relationship with Franz Kafka, though brief, left a lasting imprint on both her personal and professional life. Beyond Kafka, Milena, carved out a distinct legacy of her own as a journalist, translator, and advocate for human rights. And now we will discuss legacy. So Milena Yasenka's legacy is multifaceted and enduring. So literary contributions, the first point we have here, and her translations of Kafka's work into Czech helped to popularize his writings and ensures their accessibility to Czech speaking audiences. And then journalistic excellence. As a journalist, Milena wrote insightful articles on literature and culture and social issues, contributing significantly to the intellectual discourse of her time and advocacy for social justice. Milena's activism and advocacy for women's rights, pacifism, and anti fascism reflected her deep seated commitment to progressive ideals. So, Milena's life and work, continue to inspire generations of writers, thinkers, and activists who value intellectual freedom and cultural exchange and social responsibilities. So by honoring Milena Yasenka's legacy, we uphold her belief in the power of words and ideas to affect positive change in the world. Let us continue to draw inspiration from her and her life and work as we navigate the complexities of our own time. So this is it. The video ends here. I hope you found the information about Franz Kafka and Milena Yasenka insightful and inspiring. Their unique bond and literary contributions continue to, resonate today, reminding us of the power of literature and human connection. And for more fascinating stories and insights into literature and history, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, that is Real Literature and Random Videos by Neha Sultana. Stay curious and keep